incredible story as ever brewing over here in the United Kingdom, following, of course, the forthcoming coronation on May the 6th of King Charles III. And as ever, it's to do with, well, shall we say, outlandish spending. But this time, who's to blame? As ever, let me explain. Hi, good morning. Neil Sean here. Nice to see you. By the way, thank you for your lovely comments about Brian Epstein and the plaque next door to the London Palladium. I know, fascinating really. As I say, not many people know that he had his offices there. So if you are a bit of a Beatles fan, and let's face it, there are many millions around the world. My only sort of gripe about that is that the blue plaque is too high up on the building. You know, I mean, you can read it, obviously, if you film it like we did. But, you know, to just see it from across the road is too high. Who would have thought that was a good idea? You know, you need a ladder, you know. I mean, you can't just see it as you're walking past. I think that's why many people go past it, you know. Blue plaques are great. They're all around London and across the United Kingdom. Do look out for them if you come over here. It's just fascinating stuff to think they lived here. Absolutely. Back as ever to your breaking roll story of the day. Yes, this has caused a lot of controversy, as one can imagine. It's a brand new portrait that's been offered to town hall, schools and public buildings of our brand new king, King Charles III, to replace, sadly, his late mother, Queen Elizabeth II. Many of those are still sticking with our late and beautiful Queen for obvious reasons. It's sentimental, isn't it? But there was a story building that this apparently portrait, which is basically a print, it's not a full oil portrait, cost 8 million. That's a story that went in and around the mainstream media. As ever, how true is that story? Well, it certainly didn't cost 8 million for reprints. You know, I'm not quite sure who or why they got through that particular money. The artist himself would have been asked to paint this official portrait and there would have been a fee attached to that. But the bigger picture is this is all to dent the popularity of the king and indeed the monarchy. And of course, this naturally caused outrage in the certain individual mainstream media that decided to reproduce this story. But they quickly forgot, of course, earlier this year that King Charles himself personally donated 250 million from the Duchy of Cornwall. Remember that story? Yes. But of course, you know, nobody wants to remember the fact that even if this did cost 8 million, which I say it certainly didn't, there's no thanks for that and quickly, oh, you know, spending money again. Well, even if the government had have spent 8 million, it's a little drop in the ocean considering what the king personally donated for all good causes, of which we've yet to find out exactly what those good causes are. But I do like to clear these stories up for you because they do reverberate around the world and then they become folklore. They become the story that people say, this is it, you know, this is what it cost. It didn't. I think a lot of people who were refusing to put that particular portrait up are just curlish, rude, and actually very ungrateful. If you're in the United Kingdom, Great Britain, you should be proud to display the brand new portrait of His Majesty the King. And for those that don't, perhaps take it somewhere else and maybe go and live somewhere else if you don't like the British way of life. As ever, happy to clear up this mistake once again by the mainstream media. Neil Sean in the very heart of London.